Part 7, the future tense.
So far we've covered modal verbs, reflexives, the preterite, imperfect and present perfect, subjunctives, and commands. Wow, we've come a long way. In fact, there's only one more thing we need to show you. It's time for you to stop playing around and start thinking about your future.
Section A, building and using the future tense.
Spanish speakers use the future tense the same way we use the word will in English. If I say, I will sand this piece of wood, the word will lets you know that I'm not sanding anything right now, but I will be sanding something in the future. So when you think of future tense in Spanish, think will.
You probably remember that you use the construction ir plus a plus infinitive when you want to say you're going to do something. The future tense, on the other hand, is used to say you will do something. Not a lot of difference, is there? They're just two different ways to talk about the future.
You'll be pleased to know that the future tense is one of the easiest to make. We went and saved the best for last. All you have to do is add a special ending to the end of an infinitive verb. Here are the endings.
Has, a, hemos, eis, han.
Well, hey, whoa! Look at all those accent marks. This is a set of endings you'll use with every Spanish verb out there, whether it be AR, ER, or IR. To conjugate a verb in the future tense, all you do is add the appropriate ending to the end of an infinitive verb, not a stem. Let me repeat that. To conjugate a verb in the future tense, all you do is add the appropriate ending to the end of an infinitive verb, not a stem.
Let's show you what we mean. Take the verb perder, to lose. First, we make sure the verb is in its infinitive form. No vowel changes, no chopping off of ends, an infinitive complete with its infinitive ending. Then, to that we add the future tense endings. So using perder, we'd get
Perderé, perderás, perderá, perderemos, perderéis, perderán.
we stuff those puppies onto the end of the infinitive. So if I say, ella perderá sus llaves, I'd be saying, she will lose her keys. And it doesn't matter that perder is an ER verb. These endings work with all the verbs.
Let's conjugate a few more verbs in the future tense. This time, let's use an AR verb, limpiar, which means to clean. Adding our endings to the infinitive, we'd get limpiaré, limpiarás, limpiará, limpiaremos, limpiaréis, limpiarán. I will clean, you will clean, you, he, she will clean, we will clean, you all will clean, you all, they will clean.
No perderé este video game.
¿Limpiarás tu dormitorio esta noche?
Sí, mamá. Limpiaré mi dormitorio más tarde.
See, the future tense is easy. Even psychoverbs like ir are normal in the future tense. Iré, irás, irá, iremos, iréis, irán. You form the future forms of ir just like you normally would. Just stick the future tense endings onto ir in its infinitive form.
Primero iremos a las capitales de todas las naciones.
No, usted irá a las capitales. Yo iré a mi lugar favorito, Happy Funland.
Atención, gente de todo el mundo, empieza el juego de las conjugaciones. Con el futuro.
¡Andar!
Yo andaré, tú andarás, usted, él, ella andará. Nosotros andaremos, vosotros andaréis, ustedes, ellos, ellas andarán.
Oler.
Yo oleré, tú olerás, usted, él, ella olerá. Nosotros oleremos, vosotros oleréis, ustedes, ellos, ellas olerán.
Uno más.
Cubrir.
Yo cubriré, tú cubrirás, usted, él, ella cubrirá. Nosotros cubriremos, vosotros cubriréis, ustedes, ellos, ellas cubrirán.
Nos gusta el futuro.
So you can use the future tense to express any action that will take place in the future. But don't forget about ir plus a plus infinitive, the phrase that lets you say you're going to do something. You can use them interchangeably. Watch this.
Yo volaré como un pájaro. Yo seré famoso.
Vas a caerte.
No, volaré sobre las nubes.
Vas a hacerte daño. Te lo dije.
Now for the irregulars. Hey, come on. You knew there'd have to be a few of these. The good news is that there aren't that many, and they all kind of look the same.
Here are some of the more common verbs that are irregular in the future tense. Hacer, decir, querer, poder, tener, and venir. They have special stem changes they have to go through in order to take the future endings.
So to say, I will make, we take the changed stem of hacer, H-A-R, and add the yo future ending, accented E. Yo haré. I will make. To say they will be able to, you take poder's changed stem, P-O-D-R, and add the ellos future ending, accented A-N. Ellos podrán. They will be able to.
Ahora podré volar. Y tú querrás volar también.
No.
Sí, y la gente de todo el mundo me dirá, eres espectacular.
Oh no.
As you become more familiar with the future tense, you'll probably notice that one great way to use it is with a big old if phrase.
Right. Like if you say, if you microwave a marshmallow chick, it will expand.
If you take a look at that sentence, you'll see two parts, an if clause with a verb in the present tense, microwave, and a main clause with a verb in the future tense, will expand. If you microwave a marshmallow chick, it will expand. You're not going to eat that, are you?
You probably already know that the word if in Spanish is sí, like yes, but without the accent mark. Fortunately, these if sentences translate literally from English to Spanish, and since you know how to conjugate verbs in the present and future tenses, you have all the tools you need.
Si lo construyes, ellos vendrán. Si lo construyes, ellos vendrán.
Let's take a look at that sentence. Si lo construyes, ellos vendrán. First, all the mysterious voice had to do was write an if clause, si lo construyes, if you build it. And check out how it kept the verb construyes in the present tense. Oh yeah, construyes is the to form of the verb construir, to build. Next, it tacked on the main clause, ellos vendrán, they will come, and it used the future tense of the verb to come, vendrán. And it translates literally into English, which is always nice.
Up to now, everything we've said about the future tense has been pretty straightforward, since it works the same way as it does in English. But in Spanish, the future tense can be used for more than just talking about the future.
Section B, the future tense and probability.
Like we said, it's pretty obvious that you can use the future tense to express actions that take place in the future. But Spanish speakers also have another use for this lovely construction. They also use it to express probability.
Yes, Spanish speakers use the future tense to express actions that are probable but uncertain. Let's take a look at an example, and then we'll break it apart and show you what we're talking about.
Check out the question. ¿Qué hora será? Since será is the future form of the verb ser, you could translate this as, what time will it be? But since Spanish speakers use the future tense to express uncertainty, it could also translate to, I wonder what time it is.
Now suppose we answer, será la una. We know we could translate that into, it will be 1 o'clock. But we could also translate it to, it's probably 1 o'clock. How do you know which? Context, my friend.
Llego tarde y no tengo reloj. ¿Qué hora será?
Serán las 4 de la tarde. Sí, son las 4.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Señor. Let's take a closer look at what just happened. This nice lady seems to be wondering what time it is, and she doesn't have her watch.
Llego tarde y no tengo reloj. ¿Qué hora será?
¿Qué hora será? Looks like she's using the future tense here to say that she's wondering what time it is. Let's see if this gutsy kid can pick up on this.
Serán las 4 de la tarde. Sí, son las 4. He did it! And he shot back with the future tense to say it's probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then, when he's sure, he drops the future tense. No more wondering, my friends.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Way to go, my man! Way to go!
Here's an easier way to look at probability in the future tense. When you see the future tense in a question, think, I wonder. And when you see it in a statement, think, probably.
¿Llegará el tren pronto? Will the train arrive on time? That future tense verb in a question makes us think of the word wonder. So another way to look at this sentence is, I wonder if the train will arrive on time. We might answer,
Sí, llegará pronto.
yes, it will arrive on time. Or we could say, yes, it will probably arrive on time. That future tense in the statement makes us think of the word probably.
A fortune teller.
Fun.
Sit. I will tell you your futures. You will win the lottery and be rich. You will have a huge mansion. But you will fall and hurt your head.
I may not fall. How do you know my future?
Una adivina.
¡Qué divertido!
Siéntense. Les voy a decir sus futuros. Usted ganará la lotería y será rica. Tendrá una casa grandísima. Usted se caerá y se lastimará la cabeza.
No me caeré. ¿Cómo sabes mi futuro?
The future tense serves two main purposes. The first, obviously, is to express actions that will happen in the future, and the second is to express probability.
Conjugating verbs in the future tense is a little tricky because the endings aren't attached to the verb stems, they're attached to the end of the infinitive. Except for a handful of exceptions like hacer, decir, and poder, which undergo slight spelling changes. Also, there's only one set of endings that's used for all verbs, be they AR, ER, or IR. The future endings are as, hemos, es, and an. Just stick them onto the end of the infinitive and away you go.
There! We told you you'd learn a lot about verbs. We're done, right?
Yes. Hopefully you now have not only a bunch of new tenses at your disposal, but an understanding of modal verbs, the reflexive,
and